Updated hero general tier list for the game King God Castle for the month of July. Where's Belina? Where's Jinju? New progression system is out. Legacies, accessories, it's freaking crazy. AWESOMEPIECE here. In this video, I'm going to be going through my updated hero general tier list for the game King God Castle and ranking each hero, including the newest hero Belina and Jinju. I have not done Jinju yet. I kind of delayed that one because of the new progression update, and we're going to be ranking them as A, B, C, D, max level heroes, generally any type of mode. This is my feelings of the power ranks of the game. It's either DPS pretty much in general, or how much utility they are in the scope of the game and how relevant they are, how much they're picked, etc, etc, etc. And we're going to be going through it. There's a lot of freaking heroes. I'm going to be talking very fast, and we're going to go boom, zooming, right? All right, we're going to start with D rank, and we can't have D. I'm waiting for the day. I don't have to say this anymore. You can't have D without Daniel. Daniel, beginning to now. Okay, so you got a lot of guys have been here for a while. I'm not gonna rehash the same information. You guys can this is not like a review of a freaking hero, all right? So I'm gonna briefly touch on people, all right? And it's just gonna have to be like that. Otherwise, I'm gonna make it past the freaking hour mark, and you know my voice is gonna just get destroyed. You know what I'm saying? So D for Daniel. Daniel, power creep, OG tank, needs changes, and also obviously I am accounting for accessories and the new legacies and what have you. I am accounting all of that as well. I'll be honest, it has kind of we are going to be distributing the heroes throughout this a little different. I feel like with the progression system elements, it kind of smooth out the bell curve, so to speak, a little bit. So we're going to see a lot more heroes. And D, I'm kind of reframing how I'm seeing this tier list. So we're going to see this. So pretty much it's an old tank, and he needs buffs and changes. Not really seen, not really too crazy effective in comparison to the rest of the cast. And as I said, I have to rehash this. If you are a DPS centric hero, your DPS needs to be relevant and effective to be higher on the list. That's just how it is. And if you are not really a DPS centric type of hero, but you're used as a more of a utility type, your utility type better be bringing some guns, for example, right? So if you are bringing a lot of utility for the team, which means strategic value, effectiveness, whatever, right, then you're going to be higher on this list. That's just how I see this list, and that's out of the way. Okay, next one. Yes, we have more, and it is not Ophelia, boys. Ophelia got reworked. I'm going to put Armis in here, one of the beginning DPS characters. His DPS is just not... He's a beginning character. It is kind of interesting. I'm not going to go on tangent, boys. It's going to get too long. He is a beginning carry, one of the two that you start off with, and I'm just going to go ahead and put him up here. I'm going to put Evan. Where's freaking Evan, bro? Evan is going to be D tier as well. I'm going to put him in D tier, meaning that... yes, Evan, whatever, can get you through season 1, but let's be honest here, we have to shift our mindset to what is currently the latest things, right? Which is chapter 13, right? Like season invasion 2, that's the benchmark now. The benchmark is now legacies, right? The benchmark now is accessories. You have to consider all of that. At least in my list, I have to. I'm not gonna do a list where, oh, I'm not gonna consider, dude, they exist, they should be considered, and that's what I'm doing. So Armis, Evan, their DPS, it doesn't, when they're in D, doesn't mean that they're Garbo. They can't, Evan can do chapter 10 phase 15 Nob. I mean, okay, everyone else can do it too. Everyone else. And the other argument, Nob, you can put a tier 4 bow with 100% execute on Jupiter. She's gonna be amazing. You can put that same bow on anybody else, brother. So that is the idea. All right, so next one on the list, I'm getting spicy. I'm gonna put Leica here. Leica is a hero log character. He's only going to be used as a hero log character. Other than that, okay, some of these heroes also have specific niches in terms of when it's a season that favors them, they'll be used. All right, so Leica is one of those heroes. You're using him from hero log. Other than hero log, you're using him in arena when the season buff favors him. But overall, his design is cool. He's one of the OG heroes. He needs changes. All right, that's all I can say. The next one is gonna be Nabella. I know Nabella fans are gonna hate me for this. and she is Kirdan pretty much. She has an identity crisis. I mean, you can look at my other tier list videos. I ran on her. Is the same issues. She hasn't really changed. They're trying to tweak her numbers. To be honest, that's not the issue. So her kit just needs to be freaking adjusted, and she has a cool design. Don't get me wrong. It's just there are better heroes, and like I said, she's a DPS hero. She has like 0 utility, so you have to like. There's a lot of these heroes where they have 0 utility, like no utility baked in at all, and the newer designs have that utility, right? And it's kind of like old design versus new design kind of type thing. So Nabella is one of those heroes, and she's basically straight DPS, and her DPS is all right. You know, it's all right. All right, next one. Speak of the Devil is going to be Jupiter Power Creep. She used to be OP at one time. Power Creep. That's all I can say. And then Draco. I'm gonna put him Draco. Like you'll see that D rank is gonna be like pretty much DPS centric heroes that are typically older ish, right? Nabella is not exactly old, but typically older ish, but they are just power crept in terms of like just DPS, right? And they need something adjustments, like, you know, they fell prey to the old awakening system, and their awakenings are kind of whack, and they just need adjustments, right? So Draco is one of those heroes. Like, he has a sick design. I used to play Draco a lot. He just, you don't see him, you know, and then there's going to be that one guy that says, Nob, Draco is OP for goblins, you know, Gold Goblins Expedition. I'm like, okay. All right. And, you know, if I haven't said it yet, I don't freaking remember. I like my brain is going like 120 miles per hour. You guys know this. Like, I'm considering all the freaking modes. All right, boys. Howard Trials, Raid, freaking Strife, Invasion, Season 2, whatever, Relevancy, Arena, whatever, man. You name it. This is general hero tier list. A lot of people look at, because a lot of people, they can't do what, you know, I gotta be real. Not everyone's me. What can I say? Okay, next one. Ball freaking deer. He's okay. That's all I gotta say. Identity crisis, man. His bear form kind of sucks. I mean, kind of by like a lot. And if you use Baldir, you use deer form, and guess what? Deer form's DPS, and his DPS is not as okay. I'll give you that. His DPS is not as bad as like these. You know, to be fair, he's one of the newer heroes, but there's not much reason to use them, to be honest with you. There are some interesting things you could do with legacies, you know, that's fun, but like overall, in the, like core wise, he needs something. He needs some juice. Yes, I'm a Baldir hater. Next one, Alberon. He just mech heals men, you know. Yeah, you're gonna see him in, like, don't get me wrong, when you see a hero in D, doesn't mean that they're not gonna show up on like a meta team. That's just the nature of kinggodcastle. Every hero is viable in some way. You can make them work if you do it. Like, it's like, oh, I saw this guy do this chapter with a D rank hero that not put him in D. Like, yeah, you can do that. It's kinggodcastle. Next one, I'm gonna put Joel. Yes, I'm a Joel hater as well. I'm just joking, by the way. I love all these heroes, but Joel is power creep. Yeah, I mean, you know, to be honest, I kind of like Joel a little bit. I would put him like D plus maybe, but I'm just gonna throw him in D. I don't do in between tiers, as you guys know, on my list, and I just I place them in one or the other based on how I feel. Now that is D rank. We're gonna go through fast, okay? Like I'm trying not to talk too much. C rank. All right, we're gonna go see Isaac. All right, so hero, lock character, support. Her chain effective. It's more utility, but you can build her damage. And you kind of have that hybridness to it. There's some heroes in this game that you can do that hybrid, like utility or damage, and they're kind of great. She's one of the older heroes, so her damage is not as OP as like OG wise. So, but her utility is still there, and it exists. If she didn't have her utility, she's a hero lock character. If I didn't mention that, she would be D, but she has that utility. And if you're doing like a chain lock or a comp in like arena or something like that, that definitely doesn't exist as much and nowadays, right? But Isaac, the utility is there, right, for strategic purposes, right? She has a value, right? So that is why she's in C. She links to people. There's priority there. There's some stun happening. There's like a chain pop damage and stuff. It's useful in some way. There's, like I said, strategic value. Next one, Leo. Now the reason why I don't put Leo in D, yes, he's the most basic tank. He's the best basic tank there is, and I gotta put him in C because he's actually relevant in arena mainly. But he also is a pretty decent front meat shield. He's actually legit useful, legit. So he's C, right? I mean, I'll put him in D plus. I mean, to be honest, I'll put him in D plus, but I'm gonna shove him up to C, just because of how I feel about the D rank heroes. Next one's gonna be Hanzi. Hanzi is range hero, one of the OGs, and yeah, like scope, right? Kind of put her up a little bit, and she's, I would prefer her right now over the D rank heroes generally. She is relevant in some stuff, and Hanzi fans be hot. I mean, I've ranked Hanzi pretty low. I think like you'll see that this list is more distributed after the progression system. Like my feeling is I feel like after the progression system, it kind of like rounded it out a bit more, in my opinion. Because there are some heroes that definitely need changes, and now D rank has slowly becoming, and instead of it being like a meme tier, it's like the row that heroes needs a lot of adjustment and tuning and changes because they're so basic. Basically, what D rank has turned into. But C rank, even if you're C rank, you can do stuff, right? It's not bad. A lot of people see C rank. Oh, my hero's freaking B tier. He sucks. No, B tier is actually pretty good. But C rank, who's next? Who's freaking next? Hella. Hella got some buffs. She needs more buffs. I feel like they need to like double her spell power or some crap. I don't freaking know. She's the only hero in the game that has this weird like attack speed like adjustment thing, right? More cast time when you have attack speed. That's the level 8 potential ability, by the way. Newer players, got a lot of new players. It has like, oh, Nob, you said that Hella can scale her cast time with like bows and attack speed or whatever. I can't do it. Level 8 potential ability is what you need to unlock. Next one, Behemoth. To be honest, he has fallen off super hard. He has fallen off a lot, very, very hard. I want to put him in D plus, bro. I want to put him in D plus. I mean, I would put him in D. I mean, but it hurts so much because he actually has some utility. He has like that provoke thing on his ability. Because of that, I put him in C. Right, he has some utility in him with like provoke and like pathing and things like that. So there are some useful things, Behemoth's gang is always fun. And the next one, Agath. Agath is a hero character and a meat shield, probably the best meat shield in the game. Team wide, very good. C. I mean, that's damage mitigation and HP. I mean, if you're a tank, you can only go so far if you don't have damage as well. And there's a hero that is considered a tank with like all that with some damage and utility. So we're gonna see who that is. You guys already know who it is. And the next one, Taebaek. Now Taebaek has a very strong taunt effect, but it used to be amazing. They nerfed it. It is not seen around as much anymore. There are a lot of reasons for that, but that effect in itself isn't as OP and oppressing as before. So a lot of players aren't using it as much. And him as a hero itself without that effect is freaking that's a F tier hero without that effect. So he's about a C for me. He's about a C now, but the effect is very strong. Don't get me wrong, the effect is very strong, but that's literally the only reason why I use him, and that reason isn't as prevalent anymore. Next one, I'm gonna put Rosette tank, and pretty much I'm gonna cut it short. So she has exposed weakness, and you apply a damage increase effect on the enemy target, like bosses and things like that, raid, etc. It's the little pink target icon that you see. Her ability gives that, right? When she's awakened, right? So that's pretty much what you use her for, and besides that, she's a solid damage, you know, like they kind of scaled her. She feels pretty good. So like damage wise, she feels like quote unquote pretty, like she's good. Like it feels good, her damage. And then also she's used as a damage buffer, right? So C, right? She's not a D because she's not like completely out of the thing. Like she's used a lot. Okay, and mainly in like as a damage buffing tool. Next one, damage buffing tool, Mercil as another damage buffing tool. She kind of fell off the meta, but like she does have the healing grass thing. She does have the CC removal awakening, so she has utility. So she has utility to add to the team. C rank. Other than that, she fell off the meta in terms of damage and being a carry a long time ago. Next one's gonna be Kathy. Now Kathy, no utility, straight damage. That's all I'll say. If she had some utility in it, she might be B. I do think she's a fan favorite with like Ricochet and like Scope and things like that. She's very fun to play, but she nearly doesn't have enough damage as the higher echelon of the heroes that currently exist. Right? She's just pure damage, and her damage is, you know, pretty solid. So C rank is where I'll put Kathy. Next one's gonna be Chang'e. I think Chang'e is C rank as well. One of the older heroes, and she actually does, you know, pretty well nowadays. But her awakenings need to be adjusted in my opinion, and she does have innate sustain, which is a plus. And she feels solid, better in my opinion, better than the D tier. So she is C tier. And then I'm gonna put Inwrath in C tier. He has overall he's fallen off after after Invasion season 2 got released, and then like after everything else, like new heroes, etc got released, he doesn't cut the bill anymore. He's really easy and effective for like newer players in season 1 Invasion. And yes, he's used in like round 1 arena as a round 1 hero or things like that, or when the arena buff favors him, so he's used there. But overall, he's fallen off a lot. I used him in my new to pro season 2 series when I went through season 1 Invasion, but that was way before season 2 Invasion got released. So it has changed a lot. It has changed a lot, and he is definitely on the lower end for sure. You don't nearly see him around as often, but he is very fun, very noob friendly to get through that Invasion season 1 in my opinion. Next one is going to be Tia. I'm going to put Tia down here in C tier. She is the epitome of blacksmith, the great rift Tia, you know, 1 living sword, 2 bombardment, but she is just not, she you don't get to see her anywhere else, to be honest with you. I'll be honest, like it's time, C tier. It's time. She's just not used as much at all. So she is on the upper end of range carries because her range is insane. But other than that, you don't really, you know, like anybody who's faced Tia the King God bot in arena, yeah, you're gonna get wrecked, right? So, but like you really don't see Tia anywhere else, really, to be honest with you. And that's just, I don't know. She needs some utility or something. Like, yeah, she has like that avoiding thing, which is very unique, but other than that, is like, you know, like it needs something else. I'm not sure. Next one's gonna be Yan. I'm gonna throw Yan in here. One of the older heroes, does a lot of bursts, and well, what can I say? Like, it's just healing, damage, water bolos. It is what it is, right? Next one is going to be one of the newer heroes I have not listed. I'm going to put Jinju here. I'm going to actually put Jinju right next to Chang'e. Jinju, in my opinion, is kind of similar to how, well, I mean, not as crazy drastic, but how Nabella and Kirdan is, like, juxtaposed together, right? Like, compared side by side. Chang'e and Jinju have a lot of similarities. Even in lore, they're like friends, right? It makes freaking sense. But I personally like Jinju more than Chang'e. I think Jinju does way more damage than Chang'e. And Jinju is part of the newer design philosophy and the new numbers and all that. And Chang'e is definitely older, right? And like her awakenings suck, in my opinion. And she, like, in the past, my gripe with Chang'e is that her awakenings suck. And they try to adjust that, but never really, like, she needs a awakening rework. There needs to be a rework awakening, like, period, right, where AWESOMEPIECE goes to. Anyway, Jinju, I like her. She has 0 utility. Yeah, she has sustain with her awakening abilities and all that. She feels fun. She has the kicks, right? She feels fun. It's just, if maybe she needs to have like one utility effect in there somewhere. She kind of falls prey to the hype of the progression system. She came out when the progression system was coming out, so she was like kind of forgotten, right? And also a huge factor is that she came out right after Saras, which, you know, the whole Saras debacle thing where like they nerfed him and all that, and they're like afraid to release an overtuned hero again. So the follow-up hero after Saras was Jinju. So Jinju was released pretty quote-unquote balanced, and I think she kind of got hit with that. Like, she kind of fell prey to that, unfortunately. And that's what she is. I think she is a balanced, decent hero. C tier. And next one, well, there's no more C tier. Now we're gonna go to B tier. Man, I'm freaking talking too much. Shelda, Mighty Block's super OP right now. Very relevant. Shelda is one of the basic tanks. Very good, recommended. Bommy, I'm gonna put Bommy up here. He would be C tier, but I'm a Bommy fan. You guys know it. You know, they're my, you know, I'm trying to reduce the bias as much as possible, but I am a Bommy fan. They did buff him. They did one of the best changes of all time. Made Bommy start with 100% mana at the round start. No more need for 10 mage altar, but he isn't as relevant. Okay, you know, I'm freaking delusional. I'm Delulu. I'll put him in C tier. I'll put him in. He's very good. Okay. I can't possibly put a B, man. Okay, so because of that, he is C tier, but I'll put him in C plus. How about it? In my brain, I'll put Bommy in C plus. Next one's gonna be Kane. He makes items for you. Very OP effect. He, pretty much you use them only for that. Pretty much. You don't really see him as a carry. You use them as item farming. Next one gonna be Rawhawk. Rawhawk is a damage booster as well, similar to Rosette and Mercil, but his bird thing, right, can stack 2 targets, so you can stack more, hit more targets, and also damage wise he actually can do pretty decent damage as well. So Rawhawk B tier, pretty relevant. Priya is pretty strong right now, and her awakenings are very good for strategic value, freezing armor and things like that, for delay, AoE stun, and especially with the new legacy stuff and the combinations you can do, very relevant. One of the OG heroes, you know. Priya fans. Next one, Gidnil, use them for spell shield, the blue stuff. It blocks spells and for defensive, but other than that spell shield, he is an F tier hero, so use him for spell shield. Spell shield is very useful for a lot of modes, right? So he is up there in B tier just for that. Next one, Pharrell. Now he is one of the newer heroes. His damage is pretty good, and he only has damage, but he has survivability as well. And I would say that he is better than most of the C tier hero. Now, if I was honest, you know, I would put him in C plus. So he would either be C or B. You know what? Just I'm gonna put him in freaking C. You honestly don't really see him much anywhere besides like Invasion. I'll be real. I'll put him in C. That's fair, right? You don't see him else inside of Invasion, but the thing is, in Invasion, you use some other hero. Let's just say he's not exactly relevant. I want AWESOMEPIECE to give him back his spell power. Why did you nerf his spell power, bro? Give him his spell power back. They nerfed his spell power by a lot, actually. And he doesn't feel as strong. He doesn't feel as strong as before, but he's still pretty solid. Don't get me wrong. Next one's gonna be Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun is one of my favorites. You know, percent scaling, attack speed, man. You can use him in raid and raid OG kind of type thing. And other than that, he's good. He has usage. He has long range. He's pretty unique, okay, bro? I mean, I'm a Zhao Yun fan. No bias here. B rank. To be honest, I put him like C plus, but I'll shove him in B, okay? C plus, I can shove him in B. Narya, percent scaling hero. You can do some stuff with the current state of legacies. Now, to be fair, this list is coming out before the new season patch. When the new season patch comes out, you can expect hero balancing, changes to the legacy system, and eventually and things. So next tier list, this might all flip. Who knows? That's the nature of King God Castle. So Neria right now in the current state, any hero right now that can, like right now, it's a lot of burst. If you're a hero that can do a lot of burst or a lot of damage up front, you're gonna be good. And she's percent scaling, 1% scaling, and she's a fan favorite. I think she's cool. There's a lot of things you can do with her, so she is currently a bit more relevant, and I think she's pretty strong. I love Neria, Bloodborne, right? Kirdan, I'm gonna put Kirdan here. Now, I'm gonna put him in like C+. All right, boys, C+. But he is. Honestly, they did nerf his damage at one point, and that's all they did, and it's just not as relevant anymore. I think it's because his damage is over time rather than like boom, one-shot kill. And right now it's a lot of like boom, one-shot kill or boom, a lot of damage up front. His damage is more like over time type thing, like, oh, I'm gonna spin, I'm gonna shred you down, right? He's like a shredder, right? But he's like C+. But it feels kind of bad for me to put Kirdan in C, so I'm gonna put C+. I'm gonna put him B. I'm gonna put him B. You know, over time we can revisit this. That's the beauty of this. So Ian, percent scaling, you don't see him a lot anymore. Like I love me Ian. I love me Ian. You don't see it. Yeah. And again, raid mode isn't the indicative thing of the power levels of the entire freaking thing. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not gonna rehash it. But Ian, yeah. Ian's Ian. Like, he's not as relevant as much anymore, and he is percent scaling, and that's why he's up here. So yep, that it is what it is. Zhao Bai, I'm gonna put Zhao Bai in B tier. He's straight damage, kind of glass cannon. Yeah, he's very fun to play, but very fun to play doesn't mean that he's gonna be S tier. Fan favorite, what can I say? But he's just not as great as some of the other heroes now in the current state of the game. Now, you know, to be fair, like, again, blanket statement, in the future there might be a legacy that comes out and freaking Zhao Bai is freaking godlike, right? Like Zhao Bai legacy or whatever, you know, etc. This will change. That's why we revisit this list every month. Be sure to subscribe and keep up with that. Next one, I'm gonna put, oh, this is gonna be spicy. Red. I'm gonna put Red in B tier. I'm gonna put Red in B tier, man. Put Red in B tier. She's like B+. I'll give you guys B+. She has a lot of utility. In terms of herself, Mighty Block Generation is something that is not exactly common. She's either A or B. For me, she's B+. So she's in the middle. And I think for this list, I'm gonna put her in B. Okay, all right, boys. You guys who are watching the video, not skipping right to the end list. You guys who are listening to me, you guys know that I would put her in A or B, and I chose B for this list. And then there's gonna be someone else that skipped all the way to the end and screenshots this and say Nob thinks she is a B hero and she sucks, etc. Right? To be fair, I am torn between the two, but for this list, I'm gonna put her in B, and then next list I'll revisit it. And then that is it for B. So let's go through A. Elizabeth is a void stacker. I'm gonna go through this pretty fast. A lot of you guys who come here, you guys already kind of know what's up, but she's a void stacker. Void is a relic. She can proc it. She's a summoner essentially. Lily is one of the hero locks. She is one of the better tanks. Remount mechanic. Next one's gonna be Estia. She has a lot of freaking utility right now in the current state of King God Castle. A lot of quote unquote utility is being way more valuable than DPS. Yes, everyone loves freaking DPS. Okay, boys, I get it. I freaking get it. DPS, big numbers. Next one, Herang. Again, he brings a type of CC utility. And his awakenings are amazing, boys. There's not a lot of heroes in this game where both awakenings are amazing, and his awakenings are really good. And he is for CC. He can kind of do damage. He's not going to be an invasion farmer, but he's definitely more for the utility. And his utility is unique in itself, right? Next one's going to be Mara. Mara is a staple void stacker, stun, freaking damage buffer, void stagger, mighty block. She can generate mighty block, very staple with void. Like, just freaking call it. Next one gonna be rework Ophelia. I think she's pretty strong in my opinion. Not as crazy as I wish they kind of kept the debuff effect. Like they just kind of added in there at the end, like the debuff, the spell power debuff. I wish they kind of like kept some of that on top of her kit, but now she's just damage and drain tanking. I wish there was like a debuff thing. I don't know why they would remove it. But to be honest, she is like B plus. She's like B plus for me. And it's like either A or B. So I'll give her the A this time, and she might be moving down next tier list. But for this list, I'll give her A. I think she feels good enough. Especially it's just she feels good enough. Next one's gonna be one of the best tanks in the game, quote unquote, and it's Tayson. He scales off his shield. He is staple CC, arena, everything. Like he can pretty much do it freaking all, boys. And then Mel, she is down from S. She is A. To be fair, I'll put her like B plus, but it is kind of hard for me to put her in B. Maybe next list she's percent scaling and she's staple, classic, always been an S tier, but overtime, boys, overtime is kind of crazy. It's kind of freaking crazy. Dandelion tank. She has she's a tank, the epitome of utility kit. Like just everything in like one-stop shop of like a bunch of these kind of effects. Damage buffer, freaking tank, attack speed slow, she has a kind of a unique health kind of building kind of effect too, that no one else really has, and she's a favorite as well. I'm gonna put Rye into A. She's a void stacker, summoner of sorts. She has a lot of damage and things like that. It's just not the S tier as before because they adjusted the void stacking ability of her, but she is still pretty relevant and very good overall, and can be used as a utility, right? She doesn't have to be used as like a DPS. Like her dolls can act as like just tank units, right? With mighty block, which is very good. Next one, I'm gonna put Kadam. Now, Kadam, I wouldn't put her in S for what I'm gonna put in S. So she's very good. I'll put her in A plus. Okay, A plus. Okay, for you guys watching, you guys know I would put her in A plus. All right, and it's either S or A, and I'm gonna put her in A. For you guys watching, not the guys who skip at the end, all right? You guys are the true ones, and she's very good. Evasion, what can I say? Evasion. Next one's gonna be I'm gonna put Belina in A. The newest hero, Belina. Yes, I'm considering Max Legacy as well. I have it, bro. I think she is. Honestly, I think she's S. I think she's S. Honestly, I think she's S. You know what? Let's revisit this. I'm gonna put her in A for now. Let's revisit it. And she is very strong. Her damage is very strong. The thing is, though, a lot of people are gonna be putting her as a solo thing. She has an interesting philosophy where she scales off of teammates, essentially, right? And if you don't have teammates mean that you need to form your actual formation. In Invasion, you can't really do that. So a lot of people are going to be doing Invasion and kind of judging based on that. That's why when people go into Great Rift, for example, with her, they think she's OP. It's like, oh, I used her in Invasion. She's like, okay. But when I use her in Great Rift, she's OP. I have no clue. That is why she pretty much is scaled off of teammates, her Invasion formation. The more teammates you have, the better she is. So that's kind of her disconnect. That's her weakness, quote unquote. But like, it's just her numbers are so crazy, and like I said, I'm considering legacies as well, and the CC immunity and such like that. But I think she's like A plus. I'm gonna put her in A for now. I will revisit my thoughts after doing S, but she is very strong in my opinion. Newest design stuff, and very good design, I must say. All right, S rank. We're gonna go through this quick. Link heroes. All right, I'm not gonna go through the same spiel that I usually do, but link heroes, you guys can figure that out yourself. I'm gonna put Bardry. So link heroes, they buff your heroes, right? And all three of them are good in their own way. There are some reasons why you would use use one or the other depending on the hero, depending on the comp, depending on the mode. I'll let you guys figure that out yourself. That is the joy of King God Castle. And it's just know that there's a lot of gray area, like not because like, oh, Zhao Bai, it does this kind of type damage, so I should use this Link hero. It's not as clear cut as that. It's just something that you understand as you play the game. So just know that I'm just not being mean and not telling you. So these Link heroes are very, very key and core to King God Castle. So just know that, and they are very good. For the next one, Bardry, she is a battery unit, AoE. Everyone knows, very awesome. Next one, I'm gonna put Kanak. Kanak is the one to get a lot of things done right now. I can't believe he did a 180. He used to be D, now he's freaking S. I have to give credit when credit is due. He is freaking OP. Invasion farming, he is the current go-to right now, and he can do a lot of freaking things. He does a lot of damage. What can I say? AP. You've outdone yourself. Next one, I'm actually going to put Victoria up here. Now, like I said, right now there's a lot of things you can do with a lot of burst damage up front. And Victoria just has always been that burst damage up front type of hero. And right now she like excels at it. So she is like amazing, right? So I will give credit when credit is due. She is S tier right now. So, you know, be happy for now, Victoria fans. All right, you're level 8 Victoria fans. I know you guys are out there. Just be happy for now. She might be moving down in the future, but she is pretty strong right now, in my opinion. You know, for different reasons, but I'll put her up there. I'll put her like A+ in my brain, but you know, I'll give you guys some love. Last one. Sarah's. What can I say? Sarah's is still OP. I mean, I'll just do this, okay? So Sarah's Kanak, Belina. You know, like that's the game. That's the game right now. Now, I think that is it. Do I want to put Belina up here? You know what? I'm gonna put Belina up here. I'm gonna put a Belina. This is my final one. My head is blocking yawn, but this is my final one. I think I'm gonna put Belina up here. For now, we're gonna revisit it next month. But yeah, I think that is it. Let me move my head right here right quick. You guys can take a shot of that if you want, and then let me know in the comments below what you agree with, what you disagree with, what do you think about the progression system, freaking pay to win, free to play, whatever. Like, just let me know what you think. How do you guys rank Belina? Right? How do you guys rank Belina? What do you guys think about Victoria, Kanak, Sarah? What do you think about my new D tier? You know, as a quick reminder, this is right before the new season patch hits. So the new season will definitely, you can expect hero balancing, changes to the legacy system, accessory, etc. Them trying to solve the quote unquote pay to win problem, right? That is later this week. So those changes are not reflected of this patch. So next month we will revisit this list again and update it. Be sure to subscribe to keep up with that one. As always, thumbs if you liked it, subs if you loved it, and I'll see you next one, boys. Later.